China and Italy sign a 3-year agreement designed to boost trade and cooperation. Putin vows Russia will retaliate if hit by long-range US missiles.
Bacteria levels are still above safety limits in the Seine as triathlon events get called off.
Thousands of Ukrainian convicts have been released from prison to fight Russia on the battlefield.
Warships from Russia's Baltic Fleet dock in Havana, the second such visit to Cuba in less than 2 months.
Italy's famous Path of Love, Cinque Terre, reopens after more than 12 years.
As France expects to swelter through a heatwave, almost half of the country's departments, also known as administrative divisions, have been put on high alert. France's meteorological agency Meteo France placed 39 departments in the country's south on orange alert as temperatures are expected to climb to 40 degrees Celsius on Monday. The Weather Service operates on a 4-tier weather warning system, with orange being the second highest. As of Sunday afternoon, at least 10 departments were told to stay vigilant due to sizzling temperatures. The heat is expected to spread from the south into France's northern regions early next week and through several days. Meteo France recommends individuals drink water, stay inside, and check on elderly relatives.
China and Italy have signed a 3-year plan aiming to bolster industrial collaboration while repairing strained relations. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's official Beijing visit comes a year after Italy dropped out of Chinese leader Xi Jinping's Belt and Road Initiative.
Gli antichi rapporti tra Italia e Cina sono caratterizzati da una cooperazione economica e commerciale molto significativa, una dimensione strategica che dobbiamo continuare a coltivare anche e soprattutto di fronte alla complessa situazione internazionale nella quale ci troviamo.
As part of the plan, the two countries will participate in supercharged trade spanning electric vehicles to renewable energy, according to Meloni. It comes as EVs symbolise growing trade tensions between China and the EU. Brussels recently slapped tariffs of up to 37% on China-made EVs. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned the Kremlin will retaliate if the US pursues deploying long-range missiles from Germany in 2026, according to recent announcements. At a naval military parade at the Baltic seaport city of St. Petersburg, the leader cautioned that this type of missile could reach Russian territory in 10 minutes and be equipped with nuclear warheads.
В случае реализации Соединенными Штатами Америки подобных планов будем считать себя свободными от ранее взятого на себя одностороннего моратория на развертывание ударных средств средней и меньшей дальности. Будем принимать зеркальные меры по их развертыванию с учетом действий США и их сателлитов в Европе и в других регионах мира.
Washington and Germany announced the recently hatched plans as a show of strength towards NATO and European defence. But Putin cautioned the plans reminded him of American medium-range missiles deployed from Europe, an event strongly associated with the Cold War. Most of Russia's missile systems are capable of carrying conventional or nuclear warheads.
Russia claimed the capture of another village in eastern Ukraine's Donetsk region as fighting continues to rage in the country. Moscow forces are reportedly advancing towards the Ukrainian city of Pokrovsk. On their way, the Russian Defense Ministry said they had seized a village only kilometers away from the city. Russian forces also reportedly attacked a town in Ukraine's Sumy Oblast. The attack killed a child and injured 14, including 7 children, according to local authorities. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban accused the EU of criticising him while actually supporting the war in Ukraine. At a speech in Romania, he said the European Union was sliding towards oblivion. Orban's remarks come amid growing criticism from his European partners after he embarked on a rogue peace mission trip to Moscow and Beijing. He said the trips aimed at brokering an end to Russia's war in Ukraine.
Thousands of Ukrainian convicts have traded in jail time to fight on the front lines. Aimed at boosting flagging infantry numbers amid the might of the Russian army, a recently passed bill means that fighters like Psycho in Kharkiv can quash their prison sentences and defend their country.
Немножечко законы поменяли, нам плюс. Мы можем стать полезными, очистить свое имя, начать новую жизнь. Помочь тем, кто нуждается нам там.
The war against Russia grinds into its third year, with over 30,000 Ukrainian troops killed. A battered infantry is hopeful about the new fighters.
Чому наших оцих хлопців так за них цепилися всі бригади? Тому що ні для кого не секрет, що на третьому році війни мотивованих бійців в поповненнях практично немає. Ці хлопці
A military deputy commander believes this unique opportunity allows 3,000 recently paroled prisoners to improve upon their futures.
Самі люди, вони бажають змінити своє життя на краще, тому наразі немає такої необхідності приймати якісь радикальні міри. Вони військовослужбовці Збройних сил України, котрі підписали контракт. Тому відношення до них як до військовослужбовців.
Prisoners not convicted of serious or violent crimes, such as rape and murder, are eligible to participate.
3 warships from Russia's Baltic fleet have docked in the capital Havana, the second such visit to Cuba in less than 2 months. Cuba's Ministry of the Armed Forces reported the arrival of the ships as a historical practice, but gave no details about their purpose there. This visit comes after 3 different ships, including a nuclear-powered submarine, docked in Havana in mid-June to take part in military drills. They're expected to remain in dock in Havana until August the 30th.
After 12 years of heartbreak, Italy's famous Path of Love has reopened. Known as the most romantic walk in the world, the idyllic 1-kilometer walking trail traversing the Cinque Terre coastline can now be enjoyed by locals. In August, tourists will be able to pay €15 to book 1-hour time slots capped at 30 travelers per session. The path, massively popular with visitors, closed in 2012 after a landslide damaged the walkway and injured 4 foreigners. What followed was a decade of extensive repairs costing an estimated €22 million. Now, hopeless romantics will be able to enjoy the visual splendor of Rio Maggiore to Manarola, spanning dramatic Mediterranean sea views to colorful architectural delights. The Via dell'Amore path was built in 1920 alongside upgrades to a regional railway line. Railroad workers required a footpath during construction. Legend has it that the footpath then became a meeting place for lovers from the 2 towns. After a century since its inception and another decade of closure, one of Italy's lesser-known landmarks will romance once again.
European motorways are seeing colossal amounts of congestion as holidaymakers head off to enjoy the good weather. The German ADAC Automobile Association expects this weekend to produce some of the worst traffic jams of the year as families set off on vacation at the start of school holidays. Queues on Slovenian roads are also getting longer at the peak of the summer season. Slovenian Traffic Safety Agency AVP launched a warning campaign to remind drivers to take breaks on longer journeys and to stay hydrated on hot days. Long queues could also be seen in Croatia due to the uniquely high number of travellers and some traffic accidents. The Croatian Tourist Board distributed bottles of water and car air fresheners at major toll plazas and ferry ports this weekend as a gesture of welcome to tourists. Climate activists belonging to the Last Generation organization launched a protest at Vienna airport. Demonstrators held posters and played music in the departure hall, campaigning for governments to phase out coal, oil and gas by 2030. Some activists even glued themselves to pathways at the arrival hall, but police were prepared and no delay for passengers occurred. Police had been on full alert following a similar interruption by climate activists at an airport in Germany only days earlier. Over 20 people were hospitalized with symptoms of chlorine poisoning after a swimming pool in Poland had up to 10 times the normal amount. Rescue services were alerted to chlorine poisoning at a swimming pool in Warsaw. During an examination, they discovered that the level of chlorine in the water had significantly exceeded the norm. At the bottom of the pool, it was 10 times higher than typical. 3 swimming pool employees were detained by police after the incident due to their direct connection with the pool's infrastructure. Hundreds of thousands took to the streets of Berlin to march for Pride despite rainy conditions. The demonstration was part of Christopher Street Day, where people advocate for the rights of members of the LGBTQ+ community. The motto for this year's demonstration is "Only Strong Together for Democracy and Diversity." Organisers for the event say these words were chosen as the tone against the queer community in Germany is reportedly becoming harsher.